Hi there. Today I'm going to teach you how to pronounce the TH sound. The TH sound is found, for example, in the word thanks. Thanks. So to make this sound, what you need to do is you need to put your tongue between your teeth, like that. And you need to blow the air out. So there's two things. Put your tongue a little bit so it's protruding outside your mouth, and then blow some air out like this. Thanks. Thanks. And there are some other examples as well. So there is think, thin, thousand, and thunder. Now, common mistakes for people to make when they're trying to make this sound is, depending on their language, they may substitute a T. So instead of saying, for example, thanks, they'll say tanks. Or instead of saying think, they'll say tink. Another common example for some people to make is they'll say the S sound. So instead of saying thanks, they'll say sanks. And instead of saying think, they'll say sink. Other common problems people may have when they're trying to make the sound is that their tongue is not between their teeth, like this. Thanks. It's actually in their mouth. So if I go, that's not right. Another problem they may make is that they'll put their tongue between their teeth, but they don't blow enough air. So it'll be just like, thanks, thanks. You have to do both things in order to do it correctly. So when you say the words with like thanks, thin, thunder, thousand, blah, 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 you can hear that there is some air turbulence. And you can actually feel the air turbulence on your hand. So you can take your hand and just blow on it. And you'd say, thanks, thanks. So if you're doing it correctly, you should feel some air on your hand. Another way to do it is to get a Kleenex. So here's a Kleenex. I've ripped it in half, and I'm only using one ply. And then you can see, if you're doing it correctly, that you will make the Kleenex move like this. Thanks, thanks, think, thunder, thousand. Okay, so I was just exaggerating a little bit so you can actually get the idea. So the way that I think you should practice it is you can watch the video again, of course. And you can, of course, use your hand when you're trying to say. Use the Kleenex, okay? And of course you can use like a mirror, or you could use, of course use a video like this, so then you actually become aware of how you actually are making the sound. Pay attention to English speakers when they're talking. Listen to the sound. Listen for the air turbulence. There is air turbulence because their air is coming between the tongue and the teeth. And finally, when you're practicing the sound, I would begin with practicing with words that begin with the TH sound. Words like the ones I gave you. Think, thanks. Don't begin with words that have the TH sound at the end, like bath. So you see, Beth, I was doing it naturally. They don't actually have the tongue protruding at all, or perhaps it'll be protruding just slightly. And also, it would be harder usually for students to produce these sounds. So when you're beginning to practice the TH sound, I recommend, as a pronunciation teacher, begin practicing with words that begin with the TH sound. Think, thanks, thunder, thousand, thin. Okay? Keep practicing.